Dr. Crystal here. Monthly cramping, nausea, and fatigue getting the best of you? Stick around to learn how nutrition can provide relief with our guest, Dr. Somu.
You're listening to Live Foreverish, a show dedicated to helping you live just a little longer. Here's your hosts, Dr. Mike and Dr. Crystal Gossard.
All right, Dr. Mike, we have been wanting to cover this topic for a while. And
Yes.
I know the audience is somewhat limited. We are talking about PMS. If you didn't quite get the hint at the beginning of the show, half the population, but then of course,
okay, not quite half.
The fertile years, right? And so we have a guest that's on to talk about this condition. He's done a lot of research. So we are happy to welcome Dr. Somu. He's an accomplished biochemist with over 20 years of experience in pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, and agri-food innovation. He holds a PhD from Swinburne University of Technology in Australia. And he has filed more than 45 patents, authored 10 peer-reviewed publications, and contributed to book chapters. Dr. Somu, welcome to our show.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
So, as we mentioned, we're talking about PMS, and I think a good place for us to start is defining PMS and how it's different from other PMS-related conditions, such as premenstrual dysphoric disorder, primary dysmenorrhea. So how is PMS a little bit different? Just give us a foundation of how we are defining it as it relates to some of your research.
It's a very good question because many of us do not know the differences between these three conditions. All looks the same. So, but it's very important to understand the differences in order to choose the right treatment options. Otherwise, we'll go for treatment options which may not be suitable for us. The major differences between these three conditions are the type of symptoms, severity of the symptoms, and time at which the symptoms occur during the menstrual cycle. Let me start with a brief introduction about the PMS. PMS is a group of physical and emotional symptoms that occur before their menstruation in the second phase of the menstrual cycle called luteal phase. See, menstrual cycle is divided into two phases. One is the follicular phase, which starts on the day of menses and ends at ovulation, during which the follicles in the ovary matures and release the egg. During this phase, the estrogen is also produced. The second phase of the menstrual cycles, luteal phase, starts after the ovulation and ends at next menses. During this, the progesterone is also produced in a higher level. In certain peoples, in the mid-luteal phase, there will be an hormonal imbalance. This causes PMS symptoms. The symptoms of PMS starts around 7 to 14 days prior to the menses and diminishes themselves after the menses takes place. These symptoms are recurring and also cyclical. That means these symptoms occur in every menstrual cycle at almost at the same duration. This is one of the important characteristics of PMS. So this is actually also being used for identifying the PMS symptoms. So coming to the second one which I mentioned, that is the PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. I can say that the PMDD is the more severe form of PMS. The symptoms are so severe that it interferes with the daily routine activities of the individuals, also needs treatment. This is the only difference between the PMS and then the PMDD.
Okay, so let's just pause there just to make sure I'm following.
Mm-hmm.
So PMS and PMDD, they are the same symptoms, but we are now classifying it as severity, or are these symptoms impacting your ability to just function throughout the day. So now it's impacting, your work. You're taking off work, you're, in severe pain where you should not just deal with it, because that's usually what
Right.
us women are told
You
to
should be
do.
treated.
It's just, you should be treated.
Right.
Okay.
You're
All
right.
right. So we're good there. And then there is another type, the
The other one is
primary dysmenorrhea.
right. So the other one is primary dysmenorrhea. It's slightly different than the PMS. It is actually nothing but a painful menstruation. The pain occurs during the menstruation. This is one of the
Okay.
difference between the
Right.
PMS and the PD. PD means primary dysmenorrhea. In PMS, the symptoms occur before the menstruation. In the PD, symptoms occur during the menstruation. This is one
Okay.
difference. Then the another difference is the type of symptoms. In PD, the symptoms are physical in nature. Say, for example, the cramping, lower back pain, nausea, vomiting, headache. These are some of the symptoms associated with the PD. Those are physical in nature. Whereas the PMS symptoms are combination of both physical and emotional, such as irritability,
Yeah.
mood swings, and etc.
Right.
These are the
Right.
differences.
Okay. So, and I think that's a good starting point, Dr. Mike, is understanding that the PMS is encompassing both the physical
Right.
manifestations as well as the emotional, the mental manifestations
Mhm.
that occur. It sounds like half of the month. So
Yeah.
it's just like, it's
Well, here's
7 to 14 days. I mean, I've
yeah.
never heard it go as long as 14 days prior, like starting in that luteal phase.
Yeah, they can definitely last long. I guess my question, Dr. Somu, is more related to why, because some women don't have any symptoms. And if they're following the same basic cycle, there's that mid luteal imbalance of hormones a
Mhm.
little bit. How come that manifests to symptoms in some but not others? What do we know about it?
This is actually see PMS is a syndrome. There is no like cause identified yet, but it is known that few individuals are very sensitive to the hormonal imbalance, which is one of the reason why the few individuals get the PMS symptoms, not the others.
Oh, that's very interesting. I
Hmm.
was wondering maybe if it was a genetic thing or but it's just
It's your own sensitivity to that imbalance, I guess, a little bit, right?
right, right.
It's the same, flip side for us older guys when we lose a lot of testosterone. Some guys don't have it; they don't notice that at all. Others are depressed, fatigued. They're not, they
Yeah.
can feel their strain. I mean, I guess that's just how
Yeah.
you. It's very individual like that. I think that's the
Yeah,
best
I
we
mean,
have right
I
now.
would say, yeah, maybe it's a resiliency factor, really the hypothalamus pituitary axis, kind of having that aligned. I would say maybe it's similar to menopause. How some women, they just kind of flow through
Yeah.
without very many symptoms, and then others more. Okay, so I guess now we can talk about how it's treated and what are some of the nutritional options.
The best I fully support the lifestyle changes as one of the options for reducing the symptoms associated with the PMS. So diet which is rich in
Hmm.
fiber and protein will be very very helpful, and also regular exercises and yoga meditations, those brings down the stress level, will be very useful for reducing the symptoms associated with the PMS. And other thing is natural products are the great alternatives because they are like very safe for the human consumption. So nature has created the phytochemicals in such a way that even if you take them for the longer durations, they are safe. Since I am from a drug discovery background, I can say that when you synthesize a drug in the lab, 99% of drugs fails for the safety, whereas in the natural products is the other way. So that's why nature is like really great. Few of the extracts or the products I can suggest is one is the Vitus agnus, which is also called as chestebere, a fruit
Oh,
extract.
chaseberry.
Yeah.
Chestebere,
Okay.
yes, you're
Mm-hmm.
right. So particularly the fruit extract, which is standardized to the flavonoids and glycosides, is known to normalize the imbalance in hormonal level. That's how it actually can bring down the symptoms associated with PMS. The other one I can suggest is the vitamin B6, which is a cofactor for
Okay.
synthesis of serotonin. You know that
Mm.
serotonin is one of the lower level of serotonin is one of the reason why the emotional symptoms occur during the PMS. And vitamin
Ah.
6 actually increases the level. That's how it works. You know, and the other one is magnesium. I think like you all know magnesium, so it's quite like
Hmm.
popular, and I'm sure like everybody takes this. This does wonder during the PMS. So these brings down the stress level and also calms your mind. That's how it actually helps in emotional symptoms. So the upcoming ingredient, which I can actually mention, is the saffron, which is standardized to saffronol and crocin.
Yeah.
I'm
Mm.
repeatedly mentioning these active ingredients because it's very important that the extract or the product we select is standardized to particular actives. Otherwise, it will
Yes.
not work. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
that's beauty of the products, and that is one of the parameter we need to look for when we are selecting an ingredient. So saffron is known to balance the mood. It is also having an effect on serotonin. That's how serotonin is also called as happy hormone. That's how it actually helps in bringing down the emotional symptoms.
Yeah, and we've
Another,
talked
Yeah.
about that, Dr. Mike,
The say
how
yeah,
how
yeah, we have.
serotonin can support mood and or how saffron specifically standardized to the standardized saffron can help support mood. So
yes,
that's
I
a
think
good one.
serotonin is actually one of the other reason apart from the hormonal imbalance, which is very, which leads to the emotional imbalance. When it goes down, all the emotional symptoms appear. So even the first line of treatment for the PMS is like antidepressant. So coming back to the natural products, the other product which I suggest is the ginger extract. Ginger is anti-inflammatory. It can actually reduce the prostaglandins and leukotrienes during the menstruation or the PMS period and reduce the pain level, even the breast pain which occurs during the PMS. So this ginger is also known to help digestive issues, certain digestive issues such as bloating, nausea, vomiting. These are also
Mm.
like part of the PMS symptoms. That's how it works. We actually like have a product called Ginford, which is proven for primary dysmenorrhea and the symptoms associated with primary dysmenorrhea, which are also symptoms of PMS. So this is what I suggest in terms of natural products.
It does seem, at this point when you listen to Dr. Somu and all the suggestions that it's going to take many of these things, right? There's not just one answer here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the exercise is important. Dr. Somu, you mentioned yoga,
Mm-hmm.
meditation, eating right, getting good protein, good
Yeah. Yeah.
fiber. All of that is important. And then from there, you kind of have to know what are my symptoms, which plant extract is going to be best for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure at the end of the day, it's going to be a very personalized thing.
I'm sure of it. I'm curious when you look at the research, Dr. Somu, um, are these plant extracts, are these just things that people or a woman during the menstruating years should be consuming on a regular basis, right? We're not talking, or have you seen research with these working more, I would say acutely, or when someone is experiencing those symptoms, or are these things that you should just add to your nutritional routine as just an everyday thing?
See here, like I'd like to answer Dr. My question also. The PMS is kind of multifactorial. It's a syndrome, it's not a disease.
Mhm.
The exact cause is not identified. One single extract will not work for the PMS.
Right.
It should be
Mhm.
a concoction of several ingredients, the extracts, which works in synergy to reduce the symptoms associated with the PMS. So, like say for example, ginger is actually reduces the cramping pain and also like digestive issues associated with the PMS. And adding chasteberry along with this will help the emotional symptoms also. That's how the product has to be formulated for the PMS. So, and certain, yes, certain ingredients are known to have acute effects. Say, for example, ginger. It reduces the cramping pain immediately. So that is like very acute. Even the digestive symptoms are like vanished very quickly. We have done the human clinical studies. We know that like it gives an acute effect.
Mhm.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about the gin fort? How what we know it's a ginger extract, right? But is it also standardized to some key compounds?
Yes, I'll be very happy to brief you on the Ginfort. Ginfort is actually patented and clinically validated ginger extract developed and patented by Olene Life Sciences. It is highly concentrated. It is standardized to 26% total gingeroids by HPLC. See, total gingeroids contains shoggols and gingerols, which are effective in inhibiting the pro-inflammatory enzymes and brings down the prostaglandins and leukotrienes. So probably as for the information available, this is only the product in the international market which is having like higher amount of gingeroids. Hence, the dose of this product is very small. It's only 100 mg once daily. Gene food is backed with three human clinical studies. Of course, like at Olin, like we focus on more research and developing scientific data in order to support the claims. We have done three human clinical studies with gene food, two on digestive health, where we have selected the subjects with the functional dyspepsia and the symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, heartburn, fullness, and few other symptoms. And then we monitor these symptoms after supplementing the gene food at 100 mg once daily. There was a significant reduction in all these symptoms, and the overall efficacy was 95% at 100 mg
Hmm.
once daily. And the other study, which we have done, is on the primary dysmenorrhea, where we have done the study on 50 women subjects who are having primary dysmenorrhea. We monitored the menstrual cramping pain. We supplemented Ginfort at 100 mg twice daily, and after supplementation, we came to know that the pain reduced by 84% from the baseline. And also the other symptoms such as lower back pain and nausea, vomiting, all those things came down significantly. Nausea and vomiting particularly, they are completely eliminated. So I think this is what briefly about the gin food.
Well, I think this is fantastic. You're listening to Live Foreverish with Dr. Somu, co founder and chief scientific officer for Olene Life Sciences Private Limited. Dr. Somu, can you just share in closing what's on the horizon? Are there any new studies for Genfort? And also share how our listeners can learn more.
Food is a star product. Well, we are continuously doing the research on gene food. We are doing two human clinical studies on gene food. One is on GLP support, where we are evaluating the efficacy of gene food in alleviating the symptoms such as like side effects of GLP-1 drugs such as nausea and vomiting.
Oh,
So
nice.
this is very important project for us. And the second one is we are also evaluating the efficacy of Ginfort in reducing the nausea and vomiting symptoms associated with motion sickness. You know, certain peoples when they travel in flight, ship, they'll be having a nausea and vomiting sensation. We are testing whether the Ginfort can prevent those
Hmm.
symptoms.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Wow,
So this
that's fantastic. So if they can our listeners follow you to get updates on that research?
Yeah, they can actually follow me on LinkedIn, and also in our company website there is an email ID. So if they write, then we'll be very happy to reply back to them and provide all the information.
Excellent. Fantastic information. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Mike.
Thank you.
Again, you're listening to Live Foreverish, our podcast with Dr. Somu, taking on PMS with a nutritional expert. And if you would like to hear more podcasts, you can join us at liveforeverish.com. We have over 500 podcasts there. We've been doing this now for about 7 years, Dr. Mike.
I feel like we always give a different number for how many episodes. It's a lot.
It's been a long time, and we cover a host of topics. So yes, head over to liveforeverish.com to like, share, listen, comment, give us a review, and ask us questions. If you ask us questions, we'll feature you as our listener of the week.
Oh, is that what we're doing now? Okay.
It's official.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So give us a question. We just love to interact with you, and we appreciate all of your support. And when we think of support, our sponsor, Life Extension, would like to say thank you for all of your support with the discount code podcast. Yes, you head over to lifeextension.com. Look around, you see something you like, add it to your cart, use the discount code podcast to receive 10% off $50 or more, plus free shipping and handling. That's our way and our sponsor's way of saying
thank you.
We appreciate you. Thanks for listening again. I'm Dr. Crystal. That's
Dr. Mike.
Have a great day.